Okay, the topic of tonight's Mishmar is, in short, if somebody eats a half of a kazayas of the mushroom pomegranates and half a kazayas of an apple, and then we start together to mechayev in a brain of flushes. So starting with the Gemara, and we're saying a Gemara, we're saying over a Rashi, I'll tell you this, no, actually not Rashi, a Gemara, I'll tell you this, a Rosh, I'm going to have Aharon, Knesset Gdoila, we give the Eger, and then we'll see where it takes us from there. That's the Rashi proper. So like this, the Gemara says, Rabbi Yechanan, Rabbi Chia bar Abba, I saw Rabbi Yechanan that he ate a kazayas maliach, a salted olive, and then the bracha at Tchil of the Soit. The Gemara deals with what bracha did he make? A salted olive. Why is it again that it's salted? This again for different shmuz. This kosh kumavushal. Not again what we're talking about now. So we get to he ate an olive, and he made a bracha Tchil of the Soit. Tchila made a bracha Baruch ate lebasoif. After he ate it, what bracha did he make? The Gemara is different studied. Either it was a brain of flushes, or it was an olive peiros. And then the Gemara is a tmiyah on this. The Gemara says, Rabbi Yirmiyah asked Rabbi Zera, how could it be? Because Rabbi Yechanan didn't eat the pit of the olive. If he didn't eat the pit of the olive, then it's chaser in the shear. The shear kazayas means the shear of a zayas, the amount of an olive, the entire volume of an olive. So if you take out the pit, then it's chaser in the volume of an olive. And then the mela, it's not a kazayas anymore. So if it's not a kazayas, how can you make a Bracha Achrona? And the Gemara says that that shear of an olive is a middle-sized olive. This is a big olive. The kid, so the Gemara comes out that he ate the shear of a zayas in order to mechayev himself in a bracha achrona. Again, everybody has the ma'isa klor. He had an olive that was salted, not sunigeh. He had an olive without the pit. The Gemara says, how can you make a bracha achrona once you take out the pit of the olive? It no longer has the shear. Clear from the Gemara, to anybody who's learning it, that without the shear of a kazayas, you don't make a bracha achrona. Klar? Right. So now, Taisus brings down the sheet of the Ri. The Ri says that this that you need a shear, that's only going by a Me'ain Sholish. If you make a bracha that's Me'ain Sholish, the Hainu Aleph Paris, they make an Aleph. So then, you have to be Mechuyev in a Me'ain Sholish, has to be the shear, has to be shear kazayas. Less than a shear kazayas, there's no halacha to make a Me'ain Sholish. However, the Ri says that is a halacha applicable specifically to Me'ain Sholish, but for brain of flushes, there's no halacha of a shear. Even on a mashu, you make a brain of flushes because it is not a choshev of bracha. Azay zok the Hilgari in the Twists. Two sheetas. Well, you say there's two sheetas. That everybody l'chayra holds you have to have a shear to make al michya or a Me'ain Sholish, like it says in the Gemara Befurish. The shaila is, does that apply also to a brain of flushes? Or to a brain of flushes not had a shear, and you could say a brain of flushes even then less than a kazayas. There's no Mefurish Gemara either way, but that is the sheet of the Ri, and the Rav Rishonim disagree with this point, that they all know even to make a brain of flushes, you have to have a shear of a kazayas. Now, the sheet is Rosh. The Rosh on this Gemara discusses the same opinion, but the Rosh introduces a whole new thing. And the Rosh has himself a suffix whether or not you need to have a shir kazayas for a brain of flushes, because the Maisa, we know Me'ain Sholish is the Eraisa maybe. It was the Eraisa Shtein Pasach Chadu V'Savota. There has to be a shir seviyah. So then it could be the shir seviyah is a kazayas. You can say shir by a kazayas. So Davka by Me'ain Sholish is a thing to have a shir of a kazayas. But Shein Kei brain of flushes is not the Eraisa. So it could be brain of flushes even less than a shir. This is maybe when they made the Takana brain of flushes, they made a doimet to a Me'ain Sholish, and then it would be mechuv in the kazayas, and the Rosh is mesupik. The Rosh then brings the sheet of the Ri, but not the same way we just said over the sheet of the Ri, but he said the sheet of the Ri in a different way. The Rosh says like this, that the Ri's question, Kinira, according to the Rosh, was, if you eat something that is mechuv in a bracha Me'ain Sholish, but you ate less than a shear, it could be then chayav in a brain of flushes. The Ri wasn't discussing stam a brain of flushes. That's pashut you have to make a brain of flushes on less than a shear. The chiddush of the Ri is, let's say if a person sits down and eats a brownie, and eats a half or a 3/4 size of a kazayas of a brownie. So you can't make al michya. Zap the Ri, the way the Rosh brings the Ri, is the reason Chadish, then in that case you make a brain of flushes. The Rosh disagrees with him. He says there's no such thing, because just because this min of a Michael does not have the shear to eat it, all of a sudden you make a main sholish, all of a sudden you're going to make a brain of flushes. Doesn't make any sense. But now again, we have two new shittas. One shita the Rosh brings beside himself because he doesn't learn to read this way. The Rosh holds that to make him, he has two tzadim and is not machri either way. At least in the simple reading of the Rosh, he's not machriya. That it could be brain of flushes needs a shear, or maybe it doesn't need a shear. Additionally, he brings the new shita of the Ri, how he learned the Ri, that the Ri holds that if you eat something that's mukhiv in a main shalish, but you eat less than a kazayas, a new chinish, you mukhiv take a brain of flushes, and the Rosh over there disagrees. That is the shita of the Rosh. So now, we're going to introduce a new shayla. This is the shayla of the Knesset Hagdol. The shayla is, as what we are discussing tonight, it's going to be based on this Rosh and the Ri and the Gemara. If a person eats a half a kazayas of pomegranates and half a kazayas of an apple, so they have, between the two of them, one half a kazayas plus half a kazayas is a full kazayas. So then, are you now mukhriv to make a bracha, mukhriv to make a brain of flushes, or not? Mitzad echad, a person would think that the half a kazayas of pomegranate is mukhriv in ala peiros. It's not mukhriv in a brain of flushes. The half a kazayas of an apple is a brain of flushes. So then you have one thing that's mechayev in ala peiros, a main sholish. One thing that is mechayev in a brain of flushes. So two things that should not be mitzurif. They should not be able to be joined together to make a kazayas sholim to mechayev in a brain of flushes. But we're going to see in a second that's not so simple. Says that the Knesset Hagdol that avadi would make a brain of flushes. Why? We have to hear the words of the Knesset Hagdol very clearly to understand what it is that he holds, because it could be that's going to be in the biggest theorem of Aharon, based on how we learn this Knesset Hagdol. He says like this: the answer there's three sfekas. It's sfeka. Why? Because if you're going to eat half, even if you forget about number one, forget about the half kazayas of the pomegranate. If you eat the half kazayas of the apple, you're mechuyev in a brain of flushes anyway, according to that side of the Rosh, that brain of flush doesn't need a shear. So number one, you could say the halacha is like that shita, that even less than a kazayas you have to make a brain of flushes. Number one. Even if we're going to say that that's not the halacha could be like the Rosh's Ri, which would therefore say, on the half of kazayas of the pomegranate, you mechuyev take a brain of flushes because it's pachas mikashir of a main shalish. So Mabela then would be you have to make on it a brain of flushes. And then even if you don't hold like that, this is another side. And this is the Ikar Tzad of the Knesset Hagdol, is that the Ikar Chiddush is that the Rosh said that since that you don't make a bracha on a main shol, you don't make a main sholish, you don't make a brain of flushes on something that would have been mechuyev in a main sholish, if it's pachas v'kashir, that's avada only if it is pachas v'kashir. But if you consumed one kazayas of food, then you mechuyev take a brain of flushes. The half of kazayas of pomegranate is not mechayev a brain of flushes, it's mechayev you in a ala peiros. So the words of the Knesset Hagdol is that brain of flushes is shaykh to everything. Kinira, the kavanah of the Knesset Hagdol is just like shehako, you can be yetzer b'di'evet on any food that you eat. So to the same way that if you would make a brain of flushes on some that was mechuyev in the ala peiros, in ala peiros, you'd be yetzer b'di'evet also. And clearly that's where Rabbi Akiva Eiger learned, the sheet of Knesset Hagdol, that since you be yetzer b'di'evet with the brain of flushes on a pomegranate, so mamela, the half a pomegranate, half a kazayas of pomegranate, half a kazayas of an apple. So since the apples, there's a tzir from the kazayas by both, and you'd be yetzer b'di'evet with the brain of flushes on the pomegranate anyway. So maybe you're going to be mechuyev in this also. As I said, three tzlav. Either pshat is because we hold like we hold like the first shita that half a kazayas, any shear is chayav in the brain of flushes anyway. Number two, it could be over in this case nach the Ri, that since you had a half a kazayas of a brand, you can't make a brain or pomegranate. You're not mechuyev in a main sholish. Therefore, you have to make a brain of flushes. And the third sheet, according to the Rosh, l'chayra, since we're saying be yetzer b'di'evet with a brain of flushes on anything, so then you have a full kazayas over here, and invite to make a brain of flushes. As I said, the Knesset Hagdol, and this is brought lahalacha by the Magen Avraham and the Mishnah Berurah as being halacha le'maisa.
Can you make a hala 8 if you made a brain of flushes? Can you make a hala 8 afterwards?
It seems like if you be yetzer b'di'evet, then you can't make another bracha. That's right. If you made the bracha and you're Yaitse, then you can't make another bracha. What is that? So now you're going to see here a fascinating Magen Avraham. We'll introduce. Remember this. Hadkan, hold here, and then you'll see introduction of another shayla, and that's going to be then everything's going to break loose like this. Let's say if a person sits down, he goes to eat a piece of fruit, and he's busy thinking and learning, he's handling the sugi, whatever it is, or he's thinking, I don't know, whatever it is. He's tifran, he's doing a and then he finishes eating, he ate a kazayas, but he does not know a kazayas of what, he doesn't know. He ate a kazayas of a fruit, he doesn't know what fruit he just ate. And the rabbi, since not there, he can't ask, he doesn't know what he did. So could be his main sholish, could be it wasn't, and now he's like, oh man, what am I going to do now? He has no other fruit in the house in order to go and be ate in a different way, so he's stuck. What do you do? So what do you do in that situation? That ends up being a machlokes in the levush on the Magen Avraham. The Magen Avraham makes the sheet of the levush that he says, you know what you'll do is just make a brain of foshes, and then you go home perfectly fine. So, because, whatever, I don't go to the details. You just make a brain of foshes, and you're good to go. Because either way you'll be ate with the brain of foshes, even if it was a pomegranate, or a date, or whatever it is, you'll be ate with the brain of foshes, you're good to go. Zok the Magen Avraham, that's better to make all ha'etz on it. Magen Avraham says, you make all ha'etz on an apple, you'll be ate with the di'evet. But if you make a if on the tzad that was a pomegranate, and you make a brain of foshes, Zok the Magen Avraham, it's a bracha l'vatala. Magen Avraham holds, Kinira, Kla, that a brain of foshes on something that's mechuyev in an ein sholish is not yetzi even with the evidence, it's malish a bracha l'vatala. So the Magen Avraham, it's better not to make a bracha Achrona rather than to make a bracha l'vatala, and that's how the Magen Avraham is. Now, Rabbi Akiva has a very big problem with this, because on one side the Magen Avraham passes like the Knes HaGedolah, and the Knes HaGedolah holds if you have a half a kazayas of a pomegranate, half a kazayas of an apple, you make a brain of foshes on it. Why? Because you'll be yaitse on the half kazayas of the pomegranate, the brain of foshes anyway. So yeah, Shalom Yisrael, you'll be yaitse the brain of foshes anyway, but the evidence. So now you make a brain of foshes. But Mitzad Sheni, the Magen Avraham also passes that you can't make a brain of foshes on the suffix fruit that you ate. It was a vade shir, but you don't know what you ate. You can't make a brain of foshes. Is that the Magen Avraham? To bracha l'vatala. So Mitzad Echad you see that the brain of foshes could be yaitse with the evid on Shivas Haminim, and then you have the Magen Avraham right after and saying you cannot be yaitse with the brain of foshes on the Shivas Haminim. Ad Kedei Kach will be a bracha l'vatala, and that is the stira that Rabbi Akiva brings between these two Piskei Halacha of the Magen Avraham. Is anybody any idea what I'm talking about? Some people? Okay, fine. It's good enough for me. So there's two tzadim of the two sheets of Magen Avraham and the Tamiyah of Rabbi Akiva. So today I was speaking to a couple of Chevra, so I threw the shayla out to them. What is the difference? What tak is the word? How do we understand Magen Avraham? Why is it that a half a kazayas of a pomegranate, half a kazayas of an apple, be mitzurif, they'll be joined together to make a brain of foshes? Because the notion of the Knes HaGedolah, because the brain of foshes is shaykh also to a pomegranate. Yet on the other psak is that if you eat a full fruit, definitely a kazayas, and you know what it is, all of a sudden a brain of foshes is not going to work. It's going to be a bracha l'vatala. What is the chiluk if it's a tziruf of two chatzi kazayim? Or if it is a full kazayas, you just don't know what it is. Why would the brain of foshes, one brain of foshes be a bracha l'vatala, one brain of foshes would be perfectly fine to make? Anybody have any ideas? I need to waste another 3 minutes. Anybody know? Okay. So if anybody knows, it's a tzarchi in Gadol, and he blinds the Rabbi Akiva blind shver. So I saw for the Chuvas Erletzian from Betzin Abba Shul, he says something over there. I don't think exactly what he's saying, but from there I got. It's like, they have based on a true story. This is based on a true story. That he set up shot over there, and I'm not sure exactly what he means, but based on what he said over there, I'm going to make up something else, which is not what he says. Like this. Or maybe it is what he says, based on a true story. So like this. That, how do you understand, he doesn't say that, but that this that you can't make a brain of foshes, let's say in that side, you can't make a brain of foshes on something of the Shivas Haminim. On that side, the making a brain of foshes on a kazayas of pomegranates is a bracha l'vatala. Why is it a bracha l'vatala? What was mafkia the shivs aminim from the din brain nefashos? You can understand two different ways. The min itself, the species of food that this thing is not shaykh brain nefashos on it. Or the pshat is that the etzem brain nefashos is shaykh to every food. Just when there's a chiv of main shalish, so now that food, that kizayah is now mufka from the din brain nefashos. Meaning, it calls when he ate one pomegranate seed, and then another, and then however many have to eat the kizayahs. Until you get to the last pomegranate seed you need to make it, it's all shaykh to a brain nefashos. Just once you had a kizayas of something that's from the shivs aminim, now once there's a chiv to make al mechia or main shalish, then brain nefashos becomes totally not shaykh to it anymore. The chiv to make the brain nefashos, the chiv to make the main shalish is goof the things of afkir the pri from brain nefashos. But until then, it was totally shaykh to brain nefashos. It wasn't the pshat that this sort tree, this type of fruit, is not shaykh to brain nefashos, but every fruit in the whole world is shaykh to brain nefashos. Just once there's a chiv to make on it a main shalish, so now brain nefashos is not again anymore. The nafka to two sides of the southern of the chikir would be that could you be mitzayef? If you're going to hold the bread and brain nefashos is shaykh to this food, kozman there's no chiv to make a main shalish, so then it could be it's mitzayef to another chatzi kazayis because that's what shaykh to brain nefashos. So, but once there's a chiv to make on it a main shalish, so then not anymore. So therefore, it comes out the Magen Avraham L'chir makes total sense. Then it goes to the Knesset HaGedolah that a brain nefashos is shaykh to every fruit. But maybe half as kazayis of a pomegranate, half a kazayis of an apple together to make a brain nefashos on it. At least with the end it works. But if you have a full kazayis of a fruit, so now on one side you're mechuyev in a main shalish, and on that side you're mechuyev in a main shalish. It's a mufka brain nefashos can't work even with the other. There it's going to be bracha l'vatala. And the tzad that it was a brain nefashos that'd be great, but you can't take the risk of a bracha l'vatala in order to go ahead and be into the bracha that you're not mechuyev. Because the chashash of bracha l'vatala is worse than not making a bracha achrona. So just do a quick chazara, get a klar lahalacha. If a person sits down and he's going to eat some fruits, and he's eating a fruit salad, and it's not a fruit salad, don't get confused. He has a plate of pomegranate and a plate of apples, and he has half a kazayas or something less than a kazayas of a pomegranate, and he has with the two of them, and then it has an apple, and together it's going to be a kazayas. So since a brain nefashos will be shaykh even on the pomegranate, the so that a person will yes make a brain nefashos. And if a person is going to eat a full fruit, then he's going to eat full fruit, he better know what fruit he's eating. But the time that he doesn't, so then la halacha l'maisa is up to Magen Avraham that you not make any bracha whatsoever, not even a brain nefashos, because that would be a bracha l'vatala, and the tzad that it was actually pomegranates, it wouldn't be yetzik. And enjoy your fruits.
Thank you.